Hello. All right. I'm very excited about the word that the Lord gave me this week. The actual word that He gave me was the word personal. And so it comes at a good time because Pentecost is on Sunday. I'm so excited. If you don't know what Pentecost is, read Acts chapter 2. It's when the Lord ascended, or Jesus ascended into heaven and breathed the Holy Spirit on the disciples and on His people. And lives were changed, people speaking in tongues, the Spirit was moving. So it's definitely, this year is going to be a move of the Spirit like never before, because we've had time to prepare. And so in that time, we do want to make sure, even over the next couple of days, that we're preparing ourselves for Pentecost. So that's why the word He gave me was the word personal, was because we want to make sure that our personal walks with Jesus are at the right spot, so that as a congregation, all of our personal walks with Jesus are in the right place, so we can move to the next level, the higher level, as a congregation, to allow the Holy Spirit to flow and to do the work that He wants to do. So looking at the definition of personal, one of the definitions is of or concerning one's private life, relationships, and emotions, rather than matters connected to one's public or professional career. So it's that private connection that we have with Jesus. And the amazing thing is that Jesus was the way that God allowed us to have that intimate connection with Him, with Himself. Of course, our time is linear, right? So we're reading Hebrews this week, or the last couple weeks in our daily reading, and it talks a lot about the new covenant. And so in our linear timeline, it goes from, old covenant, Jesus, new covenant, right? For God exists outside of time. So I don't necessarily know what time looks like for God. Maybe it's like circular, maybe it's a Mobius strip for all you nerds out there. Who knows what it looks like to God, but He exists outside of time. So the amazing thing, though, is that He established this new covenant to allow us to enter into that intimate, close relationship with Him, right? That when Jesus died, the veil was torn, that barrier was broken. And not that, that we couldn't have a personal relationship from the old covenant, but He made a way when there was no other way, right? So we can have that close, intimate relationship with Him. And He gave us the Holy Spirit. I mean, that's what Pentecost is all about, is Him giving us His Spirit, breathing His Holy Spirit in us. So I just want to read from Hebrews 8 about the new covenant. It says, "Behold, the days are coming, declares the Lord, when I will establish a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not like the covenant that I made with their fathers on the day when I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt. For they did not continue in my covenant, so I showed no concern for them, declares the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, declares the Lord. I will put my laws into their hearts, or into their minds, and write them on their hearts, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. And they shall not teach each one his neighbor and each one his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them to the greatest, for I will be merciful toward their iniquities, and I will remember their sins no more." So this week, the Lord told me to look at my own personal relationship with Jesus. Am I getting distracted during virtual church? Am I focused when I'm reading the Word? Am I spending enough time in His presence when I'm in worship? All of those things, all of those aspects to my personal relationship with Him, how can I make sure that I'm in the right spot so that when Pentecost comes, the Holy Spirit is allowed to flow and is allowed to do the work in me that He wants to complete? Because we're all running the race. We're running the race to obtain the prize. So I would encourage you this week to prepare for Pentecost, read Acts 2, and enjoy some time with the Lord. Love you with the Jesus love.